Hey everybody, I'm here today with a simple and easy and effective driving test tip. The tip is to turn effectively. Now, turning is actually a big part of the driving test, and I'm going to tell you why. Very, very rarely when you drive are you going to have to make fewer than 5 to 10 turns. Most of the time when you're driving, you're probably going to have to turn like 10, 20, 30, 40, even 50 times. And that's just on a basic commute. If you're talking about going somewhere that's more complex, you're probably going to have to take many different turns, because even when you're driving in a straight line on a main road, sometimes there are curves in the road. Sometimes you have to veer to the right or veer to the left, and other times you're going to have to completely turn or even turn the car around with a U-turn or a 3-point turn. If you don't know how to turn effectively, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to do a good job on the driving test and pass the driving test. Now, here's the thing. When you turn right or left, this is basically what you have to do with the steering wheel. I'm just going to turn the camera this way over here. When you turn right or left, your goal is to basically turn the wheel and know when to stop turning it and hold it, and then release it. And when you release it, the wheel's going to turn back to center. That's the idea. Now, you can do this wrongly in two specific different ways. You can oversteer or understeer. Oversteering is when you turn the wheel too much, and then you have to actually bring the wheel back or release it early. Understeering is when you don't turn it enough, and then you're going to, let's say, go into the opposing lane or hit the curb, so you got to really crank it at the last second. So if you oversteer or understeer, what's going to happen is, first and foremost, the driving test examiner is going to get scared, because they're going to notice that you're not taking the turn properly, and you might be almost going into another lane of traffic, which is usually almost an automatic failure. Okay, so you got to turn effectively. And also, they're probably going to be thrown left and right. So if you're cranking the wheel left and right, you know, it's not gonna be a good situation for you with regards to how you look in the eyes of the driving test examiner. So instead, what you have to do is practice. Now, with turning, the main reason why I see people struggle with turning as beginner drivers before they have their license is simply because they haven't practiced enough at different speeds. A lot of people will practice at the beginning at slower speeds on side streets with no traffic, like 20 kilometers an hour, 25 kilometers an hour. But then when they get to the main roads, like 50 kilometers an hour or even 60 kilometers an hour, they don't know how to handle that extra speed with regards to turning the wheel. So I'm telling you, practice at each increment of 10 kilometers an hour. So you want to start off by practicing your right and left hand turns at 10 kilometers an hour. Try this in an empty parking lot or on streets where there's no traffic on that street. Then move up to 20 kilometers an hour. That one you probably want to go to streets on. Then move up to 30 kilometers an hour, 40 kilometers an hour, 50 kilometers an hour, 60 kilometers an hour. You want to go to the appropriate street. So for 60 kilometers an hour, you want to choose a main road that has a speed limit of 60 kilometers an hour, or whatever the equivalent is in miles an hour if you're dealing with miles an hour. But the point is, practice being able to turn your wheel, hold it, and release it. And then it's going to turn itself back, straighten itself out, and you'll be good to go. And that's basically it. In this video, I've gone over a simple driving test tip and told you how to turn effectively, and that turning effectively is very important. Turning a wheel effectively is the driving test tip for today. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.